Hello, hello, hello. Today we're going to be we're going to be discussing development in Southwest Florida and pros and its cons, what good it's done, and the consequences of how fast it is developed here. I'm going to give a big thanks to friends and family and people that have helped out and who are saying that they are going to help out. I appreciate that so much today. So we're going to get into the video. So as you can see, I'm on Google Earth using the time lapse feature. It's really cool. We can go to like New York City and see how it develops. You can see how things change over time and how they develop. It's very interesting. Um, so I'll be using this tool in Southwest Florida. I wasn't born here, but I was raised here for most of my life, and this is also one of the fastest growing places in the country. So I thought I would make a video concerning about this. So, as we all know, Florida has been a huge tourist spot and just where everybody goes on vacation, and it's been that way for decades. Everybody knows that. So, we get large amounts of tourists coming here, and it brings a lot of profit. Um, Licenses like hunting and fishing licenses, boating licenses, permits to like go to parks or camp at parks. The state of Florida and just this area of Florida makes so much money off of it. Um, Also properties and sale taxes. Uh, we make a lot off of it because, of course, sales taxes are make money off of sales, and that's gonna happen a lot because people are obviously gonna buy things. But property tax, a big thing about Florida is that there will be hundreds, thousands of houses that will be owned by somebody that people own, like actual just average people own, but they will never be used except for like a certain time of year. Florida has an extremely high amount of non-permanent residents, which means there are a lot of like homing facilities and property owned by people that don't even live in the state and only use it for like 1 month. Um, this allows for counties to develop and improve underdeveloped areas, so roads and airports are able to be greatly improved. Community outreach is improved because of the taxes and revenue that comes in, especially in Lee County, which is a prominent county of Southwest Florida. The education here has improved substantially, substantially due to the money coming in and the ability for them to be able to redistribute that money into the community. The cons are insane. There's inflation, shrinkflation, which is like inflation is when they more money is made but it loses its value. There's more money around but it loses its value. So it costs more to buy things. And then there's shrinkflation, which is basically what companies will do to make some more money. You can see this with like chips. This is the most common example. You could go like bag of chips. It'll be like a super big bag, like this big. You open it, and it's only filled up to here. It's the same price, or maybe it's more, and they literally just shrunk the product. And then there is fakeflation, where basically the price, it's very similar to shrinkflation, and shrinkflation can count as fakeflation. But basically, a company will price gouge a product or a service far above the actual inflation rate. Florida has always really had a high inflation rate because people will come down here, they look for a piece of property, they see a piece of property they think they like, and they will, obviously they might not have all the money they need, so they get a loan. They put a down payment on a house, so they get a loan or a mortgage to pay for it, and that means all these banks are giving out money, so they need more money. So So they get money printed out and given to them, which causes inflation. Just due to how Florida is, people love, oh, it's a tropical paradise. Oh, it's nice weather, nothing to worry about. But Florida is not that good of a place. A lot of parks and beaches are starting to become extremely overcrowded, even when it's not considered season. Uh, it is almost like if you go on any road that is considered an arterial, it is basically impossible to travel along it because the county basically completely refuses to develop any sort of public infrastructure. We have buses, like 5 of them, more than 5, but they're terrible buses, and the only people that use it are people that don't have cars, and usually people that don't have cars are unfortunately poor crackheads or drug addicts. Nothing against them. It's just the public transportation system that's usually the only people that use it. That's why it's just so bad that only those people use it. It's also very, very dangerous here. There is constant flooding. The weather here is terrible, and it just gets worse every year. It's getting worse and worse and worse every year. It didn't hit Florida, but whatever that last hurricane was before this video came out that hit Texas, that was the earliest Cat 5 hurricane ever recorded in history. And then before that, Hurricane Ian, which basically flooded the entirety of downtown Fort Myers, destroyed important crucial infrastructure, and basically ruined the city for a year. It's been 2-3 years now since that. The deforestation here is rampant. Just the amount of forests being torn down and replaced with concrete and houses and synthetic trees and plants that actually don't belong is terrible. It's making the weather even worse, makes it even more hot, even more humid, because when we destroy all that stuff and try to replace it with concrete and plants that do not belong, it messes with the weather really, really bad, and that it's been getting more humid, more hot, and there's just no shade anymore. Pollution is getting absolutely terrible. It is sad the amount of pollution that's happening. Pollution ain't that much of an issue anymore nowadays. It is. It's terrible. I forgot where it is. I think it's about here. There is like a manatee reservation, like a place for manatees where they can like stay and stay safe. And it's near it's some sort of plant. I think it's maybe geothermal or trash processing. I don't know what it is, but it's some sort of power plant. It doesn't pollute that, but people pollute all around that place, and it gets into the manatees' environment, and those manatees are dying. Even on the beaches. This is Sanibel Island. It's one of the biggest beach. It doesn't look big because this is 85. But it is one of the most popular places, one of the most popular beach islands in the world, and it is so polluted and overcrowded there. It's insane. And a very, very big issue one of the saddest issues that there is there are. I'm gonna put a time lapse on Sanibel so you can see how fast it develops. One of the saddest things I've noticed as well is there are empty or overpriced homes. The amount of empty and overpriced homes is insane. I live in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, simple, cheapest unit that our place has. It is not well made. Basically, everything is broken down on us, and we are paying almost $2,000 for that. In Tennessee, I lived in Tennessee, pretty much had the exact same thing, $900, and that was during COVID. $900 for the exact same apartment that I basically have now in Tennessee. There are so many empty and unused homes or places that are just being leased out or owned by people that don't even live in them, like the Airbnb and just those home renting places, those temporary home renting places, are terrible. People come buy houses and never live in them, so uh, it creates a false sense that, oh, everybody wants houses, and then everybody makes more houses, but nobody goes to live in them. And the crime here is, it's sad. This is actually a better part, but Florida is actually one of the worst states for crime. It is, I think, the third highest state for human trafficking because it is in a very convenient spot. It's got hub cities here, here, and that entire coast. There's the Bahamas, there's Cuba, there's Mexico, and then there's other states. And it allows human traffickers to smuggle people through, and basically support modern day slavery in the state of Florida. Besides human trafficking, drug crimes are a really big problem because obviously a lot of places have drug problems, but there's a large amount of fentanyl and hard narcotics coming from Mexico and Cuba into the United States from the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico. And the other day, I was out, I had to go get some groceries. I went to Target, and there was a street performer. He was playing accordion, you know, with the little keys, and it's like a bag. He was playing it, and he had a sign. And it was like, "Can't pay this month's rent," and I could tell that this guy was well off. He had a nice watch, and you know, he had some nice clothes. I thought he was like Filipino or something, but I could tell like this man's rent definitely got risen, and he needs help. I don't have money. Nobody has money, so he had his sign saying, you know, need help with rent. You know, street performing with his accordion. People were dropping like change in his bucket, and this is Florida. You know, 100 degrees heat. It's humid. You can barely breathe the air, and you know, I see it, and I'm like, dang, I need to. So we grabbed some soda from Target because we down soda. We down diet soda in this household. So, you know, I grabbed a soda out of the trunk before we left, tore it open. I saw that that guy was thirsty. I just put it in my pocket. And once we drove past him, rolled down my window, and I gave him the Dr. Pepper, and I was like, "Hey, I noticed you were thirsty," and he said, "God bless you." And I'm like, I could tell that guy actually needed help because it is getting so expensive here. It's almost impossible to live here at this point. And the more people that move down here or come and get a holiday house, you are making it worse. And I honestly, when I have enough money, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going up north to Cincinnati. You can see development in different various places. This is Fort Myers Beach, if it'll load. But you can see how it changes over the years. Fort Myers Beach has always been very developed. Sanibel is a better representation. But you can see how this whole area develops up really, really quickly. And it's because it's really good real estate. Unfortunately, though, this place isn't as good as it seems. I'm going to be serious with you. Stop coming here. Go to another state. Go to, like, coastal Alabama or Mississippi, or just go anywhere besides here. Go to Louisiana or go to coastal Texas. Anywhere besides here. It is not that good. Trust me. I've lived here most of my life. It is not good. Anyways, I'm going to thank you for watching if you have watched this. I ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to thank the people that are helping me with this helping me with my videos and other projects. I'm going to thank my family. I'm going to thank you guys for watching the video. And if you need help, get help. If you think another needs help, help them or get them help. Have a good whatever.